when you're 12 years old and you say a comment on Twitter and you're now 45.
Even if it wasn't then.
Yeah, be careful. You'll get in trouble for 12-year-old you.
Gen Z wouldn't have survived the Xbox 360.
Oh, heck
game
no.
chat.
No,
They wouldn't have survived
no.
Call of Duty.
No.
They couldn't survive Call of Duty now.
Yeah. Black Ops lobbies. You couldn't go in there. Your mom jokes all the time. Like, it was just constant.
So
I screwed your mom last night.
I remember.
Oh, boy.
What came after Black Ops? World at War?
No, I think didn't World at War come out before Black Ops?
I think so. Whatever came out after Black Ops. So I was playing that, and a buddy of mine, he was like, hey, you want to play some Black Ops with us? I'm like, sure. And I was top prestige. I think there was 15 prestiges in that one. I think it was like a friend of his brother who was young. He's like, oh my gosh, you're top prestige? And he's just losing his mind. He's like, we're going to win for sure, guys. And he was right. I was amazing. I was so good at that game. Like, that game and Halo 3 are my top.
Right.
Yeah, he was right. We won every single game significantly. But
yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, Black Ops. I think Black Ops is how I first got into the Call of Duty scene. And World at War.
I loved
was the
World
other
at War.
one. Especially because World at War was the first zombies, right? That's the first introduction of zombies, was World at War into the Call of Duty?
Yes, it was.
Because then Black Ops expanded on and obviously
Right.
now Black Ops is known for zombies, really.
Well, so did the most recent Black Ops have zombies?
Yeah,
I never bought it or played it.
Yep. Cold War?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had zombies.
See, and that's, I kind of wish zombies was in every single one of them. Because I don't want to buy Cold War just to play that. Now it's so outdated that.
Well, mostly Black Ops is just called like I'm pretty sure Black Ops is always going to have zombies. Like no other Call of Duty will.
I thought at one point
Unless
in time,
they do like a World at War II, but I don't ever see that happening.
Well, they did.
That was World War II.
Yeah. Well,
WW2 is really what
right.
it's called.
Whatever. I don't know.
But yeah.
There was.
Yeah. What Rachel said. Gen Zers, let's take all the Gen Zers in the world back in time. We'll have 1 million Xboxes set up. And then we'll just sick
their
them
heads
on
will
them.
explode.
And just tell all the Call of Duty lobbies, hey, all of you who are raising these children. I said a word I'm not allowed to say on the internet. Raising these children. Just go ham in these Call of Duty lobbies.
It's true. Actually, if you think
so
about
many
it,
people would cry.
so many of the people who made the lobbies so horrible are the people who raised these horrible Gen Zers.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You know what would be hilarious is taking them back in time and then they're like, why isn't everything instant? Like today, like we want something on our phone or whatever. It's just boom, done. We want to play a game. We don't have to worry about loading screens that often.
Not anymore, yeah. You're right.
But like, I remember back in the day, it'd be like, we're going to play Halo. I'm like, cool, let me go boot up the Xbox and I'll go make some dinner real quick. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the original Xbox took forever to do anything.
You just hear,
For like half an hour in the background.
Yep.
Just
like that was
loading.
Connecting to server. All right, we're going to get into this next game.
Back then, you didn't have to plan your poops in between games. You could just get up and go during load screens. Spend 20 minutes on the pooper, come back, and you're ready to go.
In fact, AJ, he used to go take dumps because his metabolism is so high that he always has to poop all the time. And he would go and take dumps in between games and would be like, oh, the game's starting. He's not back yet. That's a really bad poop. Like, it wasn't like, oh, that was a really long load screen if he made it back before the poop was done. That was just normal.
And nowadays, you're sitting there doing the poop shakes.
Yeah.
And you're like, listen, after this game, I got to go dump real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll start it up.
Everybody's like, dude, I didn't want to wait an extra 5 minutes.
And what's so funny is Luke is still old. Like, Luke's like 50 or whatever. And
he's still old? He's not getting younger?
No.
Oh, surgery didn't work.
So he's 50 years old. Back in
I'd
his
sue
day,
that doctor.
Back in his day, you were able to go grab a glass of water and wait for the load time to come up or do something else.
Yeah.
He always say, well, why you guys start it up? I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'm like, dude, this game started up in 5 seconds. You better run.
He
hasn't gotten past the 50 years ago.
Well, he'd be great with Hunt Showdown because I stopped playing Hunt and I went back to start playing it a little bit. I played like one day with a buddy and I'm like, oh, my internet's still messed up. He's like, why? How do you know? I'm like, we're not loaded in. He's like, we're never loaded in that fast. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Hunt Showdown. Like I forgot it takes 2 to 5 minutes to load into the game. Which is insane.
That's sad, especially for games nowadays.
Yeah.
Listen, I can...
especially for a company like Crytek.
I could boot up an Xbox 360 game on my Series X, and it'll load up in 5 seconds. Like, loading screens, probably second.
Yep.
Even on 360 games on the Series X. See, PC... I saw a post the other day where it's like people with their $2,000 PCs are saying that... Or gaming PCs... are saying that their games run better than a $300 console. And they're saying it as a jab. I'm like, I paid $300. You paid $2,000 and my game plays just fine. Who really lost here?
Well, and like as a PC player and as a console player, I'm both.
You have more problems on PC than I do Xbox.
Yeah, but I also have more problems on Xbox than Indian people do on their 98 Windows Macintoshes.
You just have a lot of problems.
I always have problems with technology. Always.
When we want to play with you,
that's just my thing.
When we want to play with you, it takes us 30 minutes just for you to get some kind of audio source to be able to talk to us.
It's only you guys. I don't struggle with anybody else.
You can't. I appear offline because I don't want just random people sending me invites to things. I can't invite you to a party and let you join it without appearing online, which is a feature that should not exist.
So, and that's the other weird thing. So we talked through the Xbox app. I'm the only person that the Xbox app doesn't work for. Just me. I've deleted and re-downloaded more times than I can count on 2 hands.
I was on my honeymoon.
Oh my gosh.
And I was on my honeymoon. And if you remember... You and Jared invited me to a party, and I joined it because I was playing Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
And you're like, how are you playing that? I was like, it's out. But I had no problems with the Xbox app back then.
Which, by the way, you just announced to the world that you were on your honeymoon and playing Outer Worlds at the same time.
She was asleep. She knew I was.
I know, but you need to add that context to that story.
Yeah, I told her because I said, hey, I've been waiting for this game to come out forever. Do you mind if I go play it since you're sleeping? She's like, I don't care. I was like, okay. And then you guys sent me a party invite.
Yeah.
While I was all about it, because you and Jared were both like, what are you doing on your video game? I was like, my wife's asleep. I tired her out.
So I actually wanted to start playing Outer Worlds again because that was a really great game.
It was really fun, yeah.
And I only played through it the one time, and it has versatility to it. Mm-hmm. And so
I'm waiting for the DLCs to get cheaper.
Yeah,
DLCs
I
are
kind of
always
want to get those,
expensive.
I guess. But you said on the last podcast, you're like, well, it's not free anymore. I'm like, yes, it is.
Is it?
I was right, at least for PC.
Oh,
So you can suck on a big fat fart.
you
But-
nugget.
Us talking about all these specs and everything. Have you heard about the new Square Enix game?
Which one?
The one that sucks, and it just came out. Oh, crud!
That's every Square Enix game.
Can you look up most recent Square Enix game?
Avengers?
I'm gonna give you the premise.
Avengers?
No.
I'll talk about that a little bit. But
Okay.
That's the last Square Enix game I remember.
So everybody's gonna know exactly. It's right there, but now the screen went black. The top left, Forspoken. Forspoken. Have you heard about this?
No?
Okay, I didn't hear about it either until a couple days before launch. But apparently, some people were excited for it. So it's a Square Enix. I think it's technically AAA. I've heard nothing about
Is it
it.
a new IP?
Yes, yeah, completely brand new. So before it launched, like within the week before it launched or got released, somebody pulled out some audio, or it was a video of a scene, And the dialogue is just as cringy as you can possibly get. Some of the worst writing for dialogue I've ever seen or heard in a video game. Now, it has horrible reviews. People hate it. And all these...
It's got 3-star review on Steam.
It's got a what?
3 stars on Steam.
Yeah, so...
6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's above a 5.
You'll understand why it's that high.
Okay.
So, it's really, really bad. It has some good qualities. I only know this. I haven't played it, but I watched an entire playthrough of the campaign.
When did this come out?
Like last week.
Okay.
Or this past week. Like within the past week.
Okay.
Very recently.
So must be PC only then.
Is it? What does it say?
It was released on January 24th, and it was released for PlayStation 5 and Windows.
There you go.
So yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a PlayStation also. So it has the worst characters. The main character that you're forced to play as is a head teenager who is an orphan and also involved in gangs in New York. And she's just mean to everybody. And then all of a sudden, I forget how she even happens. She gets transported into this magical world. So then she's there. Shortly thereafter, she gets a magical wristband that talks to her, but only she can hear it. And it gives her magical powers.
It's an Apple Watch.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a futuristic Apple Watch that does magic. Throughout the entire game, she stays just a completely horrible character. She's just mean to everybody. At one point, a person starts crying because her dad died and she was the one responsible for it. And then she's like, "Oh, you think your life's bad? I was an orphan." And it's like, you're trying to out-sad the person who just lost their parent. Like, just horrible game.
Problems, bigger contest.
Right. Horrible game. The combat looked kind of fun, but apparently each enemy only has like 2 attacks. And so the one guy I was watching play it on hard, he's like, "This isn't hard, they're just tanky. That's it." Mm-hmm. But all these people are coming out to like, the only reason it's getting bad reviews and people are saying it's a bad game is because it's a black female protagonist.
What?
Yeah. And everybody, even people who generally agree with that sentiment, is like, no.
People don't care about gameplay anymore. It's all about who
right.
the player or the character is.
So they purposely went as woke as possible. And this is a trend that I've been noticing. I think that during development, if the dev team is like, "Oh, we have a deadline and this game is bad," they're like, "Make it woke." Because then if somebody says anything negative, we instantly call them racist or sexist or all of the above. Because that's all that's been happening. So now you have these people who are I'm not even going to use that word because I know I'm not going to say it right. They're going into white knight for the game. Oh, okay. And so they're review bombing it positively. But you also have some people review bombing it negatively. So it's schmeh. But
okay. You brought up Square Enix.
Yeah.
And they've really been kind of pushing my buttons lately.
They always push my buttons.
So I don't know how to put this. The Avengers game.
Yeah.
That game's not been out that long.
Which one?
The
really crappy one?
Game.
No, there is also Marvel. It's not
Ultimate Alliance. That's not Avengers.
Not Ultimate Alliance. There's Midnight Sun that just came out.
Oh yeah, that. No, I'm talking about Avengers.
Okay,
it's called Avengers.
Yeah,
it's the online multiplayer. It's not online multiplayer, but you can play. It's co-op, whatever it is.
It's not even co-op. It's just full of microtransactions.
Okay. Anyway, it has not been out that long.
Right.
4 years, maybe 3 years. I don't know.
Less than that.
So, Square Enix has finally just canceled support for it. You will no longer be able to buy the game after September.
What?
Yeah, it'll stay on the marketplace or on Game Pass, but they're no longer releasing any new content for it. And mind you, I only played it when it first came out.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I like the Avengers. It's hot right now. I was like, I want to try this game out. Worst mistake of my life.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is the game's not been out that long. All these people have paid for it.
Mm-hmm.
You think anybody's getting refunds for them taking a game off the market?
Are you
No.
saying it's going free to play?
No, it get removed. There will no longer, there's going to be some support for it for just updating bug fixes.
Weird.
But they're completely just leaving it like gone. Like they're just taking it away.
That's so strange.
So they just recently released like an $80 bundle. Before they announced that it was shutting down.
Well, yeah.
You can still play the game.
Right.
You'll still
Right.
be
If
able
you
to.
own it, you can play it.
Yeah. Because it wasn't, you could play a single player offline.
Right.
Which they released an $80 bundle a week. I think it was a week before they announced that it was coming to an end.
That's horrible.
For people to be able to buy all the cosmetic stuff that's in the you know what they told these people? Because people were in an uproar. They're like, oh, well, you bought it. We can't do nothing about it. We aren't issuing refunds. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because guess what they're doing? In March, they're giving all the cosmetic for free.
Oh, yeah. I'd
So
be
all these people that
pissed.
paid $80, they're just getting it for free in March.
Yeah, I'd be pissed, dude. Okay,
So we were giving all this crap to EA last week. And I'm just like, Square Enix is just becoming another trash company.
Yeah.
And they're taking all the support away for Avengers so that way they can go create a Tomb Raider game. Another Tomb Raider game.
Yep.
I'm like, there's already 3 Tomb Raider games that were amazingly awesome. Don't mess around and screw something else up.
Which I think I started playing all of them, and I never beat any of them. But
I'm not a big fan of the Avengers game. I just thought that was really crappy.
I've never heard anybody ever say, "Oh, I'm a fan of it."
Yeah,
I've heard people
think
say it's not that bad.
for those people who have played it, I think they're doing them real dirty.
Oh yeah,
And I think for a game that's not even been out that long, Titanfall. They don't support Titanfall anymore. I don't expect my money back out of that because I got years out of that game. Like, that game was amazing.
well,
But
yeah.
I'm not going to expect a refund when they stop supporting it. It's an old game. Avengers came out 2-3 years ago max.
Yeah, it's not been out long. That's insane.
Give me my money back. $50.
Well, I don't know. So if you bought it recently and then they announce all that stuff, then yeah, I'd be like, give me my
Yeah, I
money
know.
back. But or like they release the bundle and
I
then they
wish-
announce that it's going to go free. Yeah, you better give me my money back.
I would no, they're not. Yeah, that's
know.
what people are pissed off about. I wish that Xbox had a system like Steam, to where if you only play the game for less than 2 hours, you can return it.
Yeah.
Because
Well-
I feel like a lot of stuff would get returned.
So Steam has an amazing return policy. And so does Riot Games. So talking about similarly with skins, when I first started getting into playing League of Legends, I bought a skin for a character I had. And then it was like 2 days later it went on sale. And so I sent him a message. I'm like, I'm not sure if you can do this, but like
Refund the amount
yeah,
that
I'm
is
like,
on sale.
can I
yeah.
just get a refund? I'm gonna rebuy the skin. Can you refund it? And the guy's like, oh yeah, I see that, you bought this right before the skin went on sale. No problem. And so he did it. There's very few companies like that though.
Yeah.
Most companies are like, oh no. All sales are final.
But yeah, the Avengers, that one just, Square Enix is garbage now.
Yeah. Well, too many of these game companies are, and it's hard for us.
Well, and I was just giving crap to EA, but
EA's gotten better.
the new Jedi,
yeah.
what's the new one called now? Jedi
Well, there's Fallen Order.
Fallen Order, but there's the new one. Anyway,
I don't know what it's called.
they just released that they're pushing it back to April to work on bug fixes, and EA let them do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding me? EA is getting good again.
Yeah. So EA's like, oh, well, there's all these other companies that are the butt of the joke now, so we don't have to worry about it for us.
Well, even, what is that? Star Wars Jedi? Survivor.
It's called Survivor.
Yeah, Survivor.
That's a horrible name. Change it.
Well, I'm excited for it. But
Change it, Tyler.
But then the other thing is I was telling Rachel yesterday, we were talking about Ubisoft, and I'm like, Ubisoft has, stuttered. Ubisoft has that new IP coming out, Skull and Bones, which is the pirate game that they announced like 3 years ago.
I could go way longer than that.
Well, listen,
they announced that at the same time that Sea of Thieves got announced.
I told Rachel, I said, the fact that Ubisoft is taking their time on this game.
It's going to be trash. I promise you.
Really? You think? They're taking their time on it. If it was trash, they would have rushed it. Like,
have you heard about what's happened with Ubisoft this past year?
No.
They released 2 games last year.
Yeah.
Just Dance and something else. And then it was the CEO comes out and he goes, well, it's the developers' fault. All the people who work under me, it's their fault. And so now they're protesting. They're going on strike.
Well, okay.
And they're like, you don't give us the resources. You push us way too hard and you don't care about quality. So the reason Skull and Bones hasn't come out yet is because they've been waiting for Sea of Thieves to die. But Sea of Thieves, even though I hated the game when it first came out, I still haven't played it. It's just
hard to get into now. I've tried
I'm sure.
It's really hard to play solo.
But it's crazy popular.
Yeah.
And so Skull and Bones was like a worse graphic Sea of Thieves. That's all it was. They announced it at the same time. They're like, crap, that looks way better than ours. And so, yeah, no kidding, they pushed it back because they would have lost that battle.
Anyway, I was telling Rachel, I said, the fact that Ubisoft has pushed this game out so long, it makes it seem like they're taking their time on it to make it good, but time will tell.
Keep in mind, Siege got pushed back way far.
Okay, listen, I didn't jump on the Siege game until like 3 years after it was out. Because
Ranked was still in beta. Ranked was still in beta.
Begged me to play it, and then as soon as I got into it, y'all bailed on me. And I had to play with other people, and then that's why Ronnie became such a big deal for you.
Screw Ronnie.
Because he was a better friend.
He wasn't.
Because he was a better friend.
No. But listen.
Because he played with me.
Do you know the story?
Don't touch me there.
Do you know the story of how Siege became Siege? Okay, have you heard of Rainbow Six Patriots? No. Okay. So, the last game that Tom Clancy was working on with Ubisoft was Rainbow Six Patriots. Then, he died. And so
Ubisoft killed him.
Well, no. So he died. And Ubisoft's like, hey, we got to do this, but the story's not done. They're like, in their little French accent with their tea and crumpets, which is not the right country. But they're like, I got it. Let's make the American soldiers the terrorists. And so they made the American soldiers the terrorists. That was their bright idea. They're like, hey, this guy who always writes about, American soldiers and generally they're always the good guys. Let's go ahead. Let's
honor Tom Clancy.
Yeah, let's honor him by going against everything he's ever done.
Put it on his tombstone.
And so they
screwed you over.
Right before launch, the story gets released, it gets banned anywhere near any type of military base in America. It gets banned in most places in America. And so they just canceled it. It was a done game. They printed it. It was ready to launch. And they canceled it outright. Like, oh, crap.
Well, yeah.
And so they waited like a year or two, and then Siege came out. And Siege came out nowhere near finished. I don't know. Tyler, when you started playing it 3 years later, it still wasn't finished. Ranked was still in beta.
You guys said it was so different when you first started playing.
First off, Tyler, don't lump me in with the rest of my crew.
With the rest of your crew. That's why I picked a different crew.
It's also your crew, but we just don't associate much with them.
Don't associate much. I haven't played with any of them for years. I just played with Jared recently, but we played Call of Duty with them.
Yeah, we played with some of them. But they were the ones who were like, you need to get in on this. And I never, because I promise you, I have never told anybody they should ever play Siege.
Shh. Okay, listen.
This is a sturdy table. It's so light.
Stop dogging on developers. We want them to send us their games.
I don't want an Ubisoft game.
Listen. Shh. We want them to send. They can't hear us because they don't listen. Ready? They want us to send. We want them.
They can't hear us because they don't listen. I think you meant to say they can't hear us because we're whispering.
Yes.
That's what I'm 95% sure you meant.
Anyway.
They can't hear us because they're not listening.
Listen, we want Ubisoft to send us their games.
I don't.
So we can trash them.
Hey,
Unless it's an Assassin's Creed game, I'll play it.
Hey, Ubisoft.
Ubisoft.
Send all of your games over to Tyler. Don't send any to me because I'll play them, but you're going to get thrashed. Anyways, hey, Square Enix. You can send this stuff.
Just stop making games.
Just be better. Go back to being good again.
Go back to Final Fantasy.
Even Ubisoft used to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, like the one Splinter Cell game was like their last like truthfully good game.
Splinter Cell Convictions? I think it was.
I think it was, yeah.
The one where he was retired.
Blacklist.
Yeah. Blacklist. Yeah. No, I don't remember. I think it was.
I don't know. All right, you got a topic you want to talk about?
I've been talking this whole time. I've turned into you. I've been to monopolize the podcast.
No, I love it.
I could talk about this. So last week, as most of you have known, I don't know if did you watch it?
No.
Okay, so Xbox and Bethesda were doing an event together and called the Developer Direct.
Okay.
And everybody was expecting it to be like this super amazing, like 2-hour long, like event. Like they were going to announce so much cool stuff, and you know that's what they were expecting because E3 is not really a big thing anymore. So they were thinking, okay, Xbox and Bethesda are holding out for this. And when you see anything from Bethesda, people get excited for it.
Real quick, E3 is happening again, but PlayStation won't be there. Just a little side note, but go on.
Well, they weren't there last year.
Well, I know, and they're not going to be there again.
I don't think Bethesda was either. I don't think Bethesda, or they did like a small thing last year.
I don't remember. Go on.
Most developers are pulling
Was there an E3 last year?
Maybe not. No, I don't think they did one since COVID.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh no, everything was online. It was I know,
online. But there were 1 or 2 years where they didn't do E3 because of COVID. But
anyway, we don't need to go down the train of PlayStation's showcase. That was trash. Okay, so they announced only the release date of 5 games.
Okay.
I was disappointed as hell.
Wait,
the show or the direct lasted for 44 minutes on the dot.
That's short.
Okay, you want to know what they announced?
Yeah.
They announced a really good game.
Okay.
The release date of another really good game that I'm excited for.
Instead of calling them good games, can we just say the words?
I'm getting there. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm building anticipation for you, Daniel.
Well, it's working.
So the best game that they finally announced comes out April 18th
of
this year.
Okay.
Minecraft Legends. Yes.
What?
Another Minecraft game.
By Bethesda or just Microsoft?
Can I just Microsoft?
Wait, is it a Mojang?
I don't probably. I would assume. Microsoft. Listen, Microsoft only announced 2 games.
Okay.
The other game they announced coming in 2023 was Forza Motorsport. Okay? Those are the 2 games Xbox came out with.
No thanks.
Listen, this is a rant of how crappy this event was, okay? I'm going to save the best for last.
Okay. You say
Bethesda.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sick and tired.
Why did you just say that like an Italian Trump? Hey, Bethesda.
I am so sick and tired of the Elder Scrolls Online.
Have you played it?
We've tried. I can't. Nobody will play it with me, and I don't like playing it alone.
I'll play with you.
Because it's not that great.
Okay, first off, let me go down a brief history of Elder Scrolls Online. At launch, I'm going to do it fast. At launch, it was pretty good. I really quite enjoyed it.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good. Then they were like, oh, it's not being successful. Let's change a lot. And then it was still okay. And then it stayed there. So go on.
Okay.
It was different at launch.
They're releasing another. It's basically turned into WoW at this stage. They released another expansion. It comes out June 20th.
It's an MMORPG.
Okay. Redfall, May 2nd, release date.
Okay. I don't really care. So maybe care about that one.
That's Arcane. You're not an Arcane Studios fan, though.
I am an Arcane Studios fan. You shut your whore mouth.
Then why wouldn't you be excited for Redfall?
Because I watched the trailer, and it pissed me off because after the fact, I got a copyright strike because I made a reaction to it, and I didn't realize that the song that was played in the trailer for Redfall, a survival game about vampires in a kind of new agey type of world, was using the Spider-Man Black Kid song. Miles Morales.
Sunflower? By Post Malone?
No.
Oh.
No, one of the songs made for Spider-Man Miles Morales, that movie, they used that song. It was made for Spider-Man. It was never like an independent song. And they used that for a launch trailer for something that has nothing to do with Miles Morales or Spider-Man.
Really?
Yeah, and it blew my mind. I'm like, why is this copyrighted?
Did you try to dispute it?
No, because I mean, I looked it up and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Why are they allowed to do this?
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was really strange. It's a good song.
So, the day that
Are we gonna say it?
Director Direct.
I don't know what you said.
Okay, so the day that this event happened, they released a game.
Yeah.
Like they announced it and then they released it to be able to play on Game Pass immediately.
Oh.
It's called Hi-Fi Rush. Daniel.
Okay.
When I say you need to play this game, I mean you need to play this game. It's Bethesda.
Okay.
Bethesda made it. Rachel was watching me play it. Like she was intrigued. Like she was actually watching me play this game.
Rachel, look it up and see if it's on PC. Did I tell you my Xbox broke?
No.
We'll get into that in a second.
But I don't care. No, I'm just kidding. So, it's made by a developer called Tango Gameworks.
Okay.
I'm gonna have Rachel pull up a picture of it so you can see it bigger.
Hey, Rachel, go up to the little top things on the top right and zoom in. Change it from 100 to like 150. Oh, that's so much better.
Okay, can you hit image?
Yeah, click on some image.
And then
Yeah, I almost downloaded this.
Okay, this game is amazing. So do you know Metal Hellsinger or whatever? It's a beat game.
Yeah.
Where
it's not what you said, by the way. But I don't know what it is, but it's not Metal Hellsinger.
Whatever it is, I don't know. So anyway,
I just don't want people searching Metal Hellsinger.
Whatever.
They're just gonna find like some 80s metal band.
But Rachel's looking it up. Hold on, I wanna
Metal Hellsinger.
It is Metal Hellsinger. You made me look like a fool, you dumb.
You know what's crazy is I've also almost downloaded that game.
Don't.
Okay.
Okay. So
you were right. Bad game with a bad name.
Yeah. So
wait, it has a 10 out of 10 on Steam.
Okay, but here's the problem. I can't figure it out. So with Metal Hellsinger, listen. No, hold on.
So I shouldn't download it because I shouldn't download it because you're too stupid to play it.
Yeah, because you're dumber than I am.
I'm definitely not.
Listen, okay, hold on. So Metal Hellsinger is one of those where you have to time your attacks to the beat of the music.
Okay. Yeah.
So the problem that I have with that game is I cannot figure out. Hold on, listen.
You're too white.
No, listen. I cannot figure out the timing right. And what I mean by this is I can stay on beat. But the issue is when you first boot it up, it makes you test your latency of your picture and your audio.
Right, makes sense.
And every time I test the latency of the audio, it changes the number. So it's like it's not consistent.
Right.
And then when you go to actually play the game, it's just when you land your hits and you don't land them on beat, it doesn't really do any damage to the bad guys. So you're just sitting there grinding, and it's not that fun for me.
What brand TV do you have?
I have an LG OLED.
Oh, okay. Should be fine for latency.
But so, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
Is another one. It is a on-beat game where you get scored for. It's pretty linear, but it's got a really good story. The animation
looked cool.
The animation is amazing. The soundtrack is awesome. Everything you do is on beat. Your running's on beat. The world around you is on beat. It's more forgiving with your attacks. If you mess up the beat, you just get a lower score or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was playing this game and I didn't want to download it because I played Metal Hellsinger. I really didn't enjoy it just because I couldn't figure out my latency issues.
Right.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to play it because Dan wants me to play other games so that we can talk about them.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised to the fact where I told Rachel at one point, I was like, Rachel, if you ever see my mouth agape while I'm playing a game, please tell me to close it. So, because when I am so like...
You're so focused, your mouth just falls open?
When I'm so interested in a game and I'm like actually like really into it, my mouth just goes, and that's what kept happening.
Yeah.
But when I say you need to play this,
I'll play it.
Play it.
Yeah, it piqued my interest. I thought when
it's beautiful too. It's such a cool looking game.
So when I first saw the cover art, I thought it was a sequel to Sunset Override.
It's Overdrive.
You remember that?
Overdrive,
right? Not
yeah,
Override.
It's got some. People are comparing it to that, but it's not. The animation is much different. This is much more. Have you ever seen that Miles Morales Spider-Man movie?
No.
Okay, so it's the art style of that, just not as comic booky.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna for sure.
But that is a game that I want to own physically, so I can just have it on my shelf because the art of it is just amazing. Yeah. Like.
You said something a minute ago, and I'm like, oh, remind me, I'm going to tell you about something, and then I don't think I ever told you that. Something.
It was your Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
Anything you want to add to the Directo?
I do want to play it, and I'll play it.
Play it.
Oh, wait.
And then let me know how, next week you guys let me know how.
Was there more dates?
I gave you all the dates. No, that was it.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that sounds crappy with the Direct. All right, so.
Sorry. Xbox, Bethesda, I love you. But do better. Okay, continue.
So where I have my Xbox, I have it sitting on the edge of the table by my PC.
Yeah, because your cat likes to lay on it.
Yep, that's part of it.
Uh-oh.
So twice, Erica's dogs have one dog has knocked it off. Dum Ross. He has knocked off the Xbox. Usually it's because he jumps up to like get towards the cats. And then his paw, he's the clumsiest, stupidest dog you'll ever meet. So his paw gets stuck on all the cords and he just yanked it down twice. And then the cats, most recently. So the first time he did it, it was fine. I used it again. It was fine. Second time he did it, it broke the HDMI cable. Just snapped it from the TV that I have up above it. And at the Xbox. So I just now have a cable with no ends on it.
Wait a second. You're telling me that when you play Xbox with us, you play it on that TV that's up in the sky? Okay.
No, I hook it up to the TV for PJ to play because she likes to play certain games on the Xbox.
Okay.
But so it broke that cable. I'm like, whatever. Then a couple of weeks ago, I'm laying in bed, just about to fall asleep, and I hear a crash. Oh. I get up. The cats were wrestling on top of it. And it just went right off. I'm 95% sure it doesn't work because I made sure everything was plugged in and I hit the button and it did not turn on. So, for the fact that it was 3 times that it fell off a table, that's pretty good.
See, I have a different story because I had the Gears of War, like the really cool battle damage red one. We were both working at GameStop at that time, actually. And it stopped working. Mm-hmm. Like it would shut itself off or whatever. Not by it dropping or anything. It's just, I think I bought it. No, I did buy it new. Whatever.
Yeah.
So I use it as a shelf decoration. Well, my cousin and I were fighting, like wrestling. No, him and his brother were wrestling. And he shoved his brother into the bookshelf that I had the console sitting on.
Yeah.
It was sitting on the stand. And the Xbox fell and hit the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, so I plugged it in. It worked better than brand new out of the box after it hit the ground. And it's concrete ground. Like, I was like, this is amazing.
Well, so funny enough, it could just simply be that certain circuitry is getting dusty and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And just a hit just right.
Knocks the
dust off, but doesn't break the circuitry.
Yeah. Well, you have to keep me updated on that Xbox situation and see if you end up getting it working.
Yeah. Well, all my games that I play primarily are on. There's certain games I own on Xbox that I want to play, but I'm like, I have so much stuff to do. I have so many other games to play. All right, guys, that's the end of today's episode. This is a nice short one.
Tyler's in a better mood today.
Me too. Anyway,
he wasn't like this before the show, but
I wasn't. I was in a poop mood before the show. But it was a poop mood.
Go take a poop.
I'll go take all the poops. But if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you leave a comment letting us know what you think. Give it a like, hit the subscribe button, all the other options that you can do.
Put Nick Cage in the comments.
Yeah, just say the words Nick Cage. If you made it this far, say Nick Cage. You can leave more comment than that, but include Nick Cage in there. But
I forgot my line. Stay dangerous, folks.
Stay toasty, my friends. Bye.